In this video, I simply want to remind you how important it is to work from the inside out if you want to have long-term sustainable change. So I'm hoping for you is that you will take a little bit of time in the beginning of the year, if you haven't already done it, is just to stop and think and reflect. And we are living in a time where mental health is such a vital, but also such a challenge for so many people. And if you live in the Western Hemisphere, you're living in the most prosperous times of all of history. But still, that yearning and that desire for inner peace and for inner joy and contentment seems to be eluding so many people. I know for me, it is very, very challenging to not be caught up in doing a bit more. And in that process of doing, my being can be eroded. Like the person that I want to be, the person that I'm striving to become, it's actually counterproductive because I don't take the time to becoming that person in the process of doing. Stephen Covey wrote a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. In the beginning of the book, he talks about how he, as a professor, as a researcher, as a lecturer, spent so much time, energy, and resources on going through the so-called self-help, positive psychology literature for the last 200 years. And what he noticed in his research, and he was scanning and reading hundreds of articles and papers and journals, was that in the last 50 years, the focus had become what he calls the personality ethic. So the research of the literature was essentially telling people, if you want to improve, if you want to obtain success, you have to focus on technique. You have to become a better speaker. You have to add these skills. You have to add these behavior modifications to become the person you want to become. And what he realized, when he concluded that it had become more superficial in the latter years. In the previous 150 years, there was a focus on what he refers to as the character ethic. So rather being concerned about what type of techniques you should employ to obtain your goal, the focus was more on what type of person are you trying to become? Principles such as integrity and ethics and growth and service and humility, honesty. These are character traits that if you focus on these things, you will become a certain person. And in that process of becoming, you will do what you actually want to obtain. I believe it was Wes Brown who said that you don't get what you want in life, but you get who you are. I believe we get what we are. If you want great relationships, well, become a great friend. If you want a great job, well, become someone who is great to employ. Whatever you want, strive to become that person from the inside out. Do not skip the process. Let me say that again. Do not skip the process. Whatever you are striving to become and striving to obtain, break down what is the process of reaching that goal. And I think when it comes to changing as people, it has to be inside out. Do not avoid the underlying chronic issues in your life. That could be everything from feeling tired all the time, from not feeling content, or feeling that your relationships aren't fulfilling. Whatever you're noticing underneath, I highly encourage you. You have to carve out some time and preferably write down on a piece of paper whatever you are noticing that are these underlying chronic issues. You know, in the Bible, it says that God cannot be mocked. A man will reap what he sows. And this principle that you reap what you sow is true. And for us as human beings, what's going on the inside, we can do a pretty good job of hiding that. I don't think forever, because I do think at some point what's on the inside is going to show, it's going to be revealed, it's going to be exposed, it's going to spill over into who we are. I encourage you to consider what I'm sharing, and that is to take some time to try and uncover whatever are underlying chronic issues in your life. And even as we learn and uncover more of who we are, we become more aware. And as we become more aware, we are also learning about our paradigms. A paradigm is simply the lens by which you view the world, but that is based on your subconscious program, is based on your thinking, is based on your deep belief systems. And for some of us, we are telling ourselves a story that is just not good, that is not helpful, and often is not true. It is a false image of who you are. Because who you are is unique. And you are loved, I believe, because you are created as a unique, special human being. And you have a special place in this world. You have a special gift to offer that no one else can. But in order for you to offer that gift that only you uniquely can, I really believe it has to come from the inside out. You have to be transformed from the inside out. And the first step is simply to become aware. And if you can become aware, if you become consciously aware of your unconscious programs that are sabotaging you, you have made a huge step forward to making 2026 a better year.